Well, all right, guys. I just did my big four of German thrash. Now I'm going to do my big four of Canadian thrash. Canada's got some great bands, and but I will have to do something weird. I don't know if there's really an official big four for Canada. I looked it up, and it's looked like they're considering it more of a big three. Okay, so I'm going to make it four. And I'm going to add a band and subtract a band. Okay, Voivod was one of the big three. I don't hate Voivod. I just don't care that much about them. Like, I got a couple Voivod albums, and I don't listen to them really. So I don't know. I need to listen to them more. Maybe. I just think I like the weirdness, and I like some bands that do weird things, but that's just not. I don't know. I'm never just in the mood for them. I don't know. So I've added some bands, but let's start off with Razor. Razor's arguably part of the big three. So arguably they should be, because who doesn't freaking like Razor? You know, if you're into thrash, you probably love this band. All their old stuff's great. I haven't really checked out their newest album that they did like a year or two ago or whatever. I just heard bits and pieces. It sounds okay. I really prefer with the albums with Sheepdog on them, but I like Bob Reed too. He's fine. Sheepdog he's just got a voice, man, and that scream that he does. This is my favorite Razor album, Evil Invaders. I could almost put Violent Restitution up there, but I feel like Violent Restitution is great, but I listened to about half of it, and I've got everything I needed from it. But this one, every time I listen to it all the way through. Every time. Never fails. So I have to pick it as my favorite. I feel like there's good variety. While Violent Restitution's like full speed ahead the whole time, this one's got a little more variety on it. It's kind of like a more brutal, like, kill 'em all, with some more like Judas Priest moments here and there. So I really like that. And I like how there's still a little bit of, like, you kind of hear that traditional metal moments in there. It's just sped up into like thrash mode, and I just think that's so cool. But yeah, everything this band does is pretty cool. Even their like forgotten album, Custom Killing, which I actually got a poster, came with my I think it's a high roller version of Custom Killing. I put it on the wall over there. So yeah, love Razor. Next, I've seen people like kind of mention this band as should be part of the big four of Canada. Sacrifice. I'm adding them. They're part of my big four. I've got their first three albums. There's a few albums I'm missing. There's like one called like Apocalypse Inside or something. I've never gotten that one. I'm gonna have to. But this one, Forward to Termination, man. Like, this one's really fun. Kind of Slayer-like in the guitars, with more of a screaming type of vocalist. So not really like a Tom Araya, like, entirely. You know, he's a little more higher range in his screams and stuff. But no, this album's great. They're a lot more on the raw side. The third album, what is it, Soldier of Misfortune or something, or is that what it's called? Like, they kind of went a little more of a traditional Bay Area sound with that. But no, this one and the first album, Torment and Fire, it's really raw, but a really good type of raw album. But no, this one right here is my favorite. So yeah. All right, guys. Exciter, I looked them up. People consider them more speed metal. Arguably so. I kind of view them as a thrash band somewhat. So I am taking off Voivod and I am replacing it with Exciter. I kind of treat Exciter like a thrash band when I'm listening to them. They kind of give me the same vibe as a thrash band, so I'm calling them thrash. I don't care. I love Exciter. Old Exciter's great. I mean, I don't know. There's some stuff that I'm missing from their modern era that I haven't really checked out. But their classics are great. Heavy Metal Maniacs, amazing. Just good, raw. And didn't I even hear one time that this album was actually recorded as a demo and they kept it for the album? That's kind of cool. I love the way it sounds. I don't know if that's correct. I think I heard that once. This and Violence and Force is good. I really like Long Live the Loud. That one's really cool. They do kind of start getting a little weird after that. Trying to write more just songs with bigger choruses, and like they're kind of getting a little more heavy metal than just speed thrash. But I don't know. Their first like 3 are really fun. So yeah, part of my big 4. I don't care. And last but not least, I saved this band last because they are one of my top favorite bands of all time, Annihilator. Man, Annihilator to me could easily be up there with like the big 4 of American thrash. I mean, this band, they're like the Canadian Megadeth to me, man. Like, they're a band that has one of the greatest guitarists that's ever, Jeff Waters, and even though they can't seem to keep a lineup and they've had like multiple different vocalists, it doesn't hurt the experience for me because I've liked mostly all of their vocalists. I think my least favorite's Dave Padden, and he was the longest staying vocalist on their later albums, and I think he's good. I just don't like his style, especially for Annihilator. He's got more of a modern voice, but this album has Coburn Farr, who actually sang for Omen once, and they had Randy Rampage, had a cool voice. Aaron Randall was more of a clean singer, but had a cool voice. Joe Comeau, Jeff Waters himself, I think, is one of the best singers they had. I don't know. I think they did great through the 90s. I mean, sure, they did some experimental stuff that didn't work out great, like Remains. But even that I don't hate because, I mean, first of all, you got King of the Kill and Refresh the Demon out of the 90s. So, like, I can look past Remains, okay? And then after that, they went right back to playing thrash. Like, and that's pretty much mostly what they've been doing since. So, yes, Annihilator, please. Very cool band. One of the best. And this is my favorite album by them, Never Neverland. It used to be, like, probably what a lot of people say, Alice in Hell. It used to be that, but the more I've matured, the more I've realized, man, I think this really is the better album. The guitar work is insane. I mean, the stuff this dude comes up with is just awesome. The song Imperiled Eyes, I mean, just listen to that song. How many off-the-wall things that just happen in that song for, like, almost no rhyme or reason sometimes. And it's just the coolest thing to listen to. And the song's good. It's memorable. Like, it's not, like, technical for the sake of it. It's actually memorable. But I don't know. Fun Palace, Road to Ruin, Sixes and Sevens. I don't know. I just like the whole thing. Phantasmagoria. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, there you go. And this is one of my top favorite bands of all time on top of that. So, there you go. Canada. You got some good bands. And, I mean, there's some other thrash bands up there. And a lot of heavy metal bands, too, as well. Just traditional metal that I could talk about. But I'm sticking with these. And guys, as far as Voivod, I don't hate Voivod. I need to listen to some more. But so far, I've never, listened to Voivod and thought, man, I got to go and collect everything they've ever done. I just never had that drive to do that. I don't know. I just never did. But there you go. If you like my choices, yeah, comment below. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe if you like this video, and stay metal until next time.